The telegram arrived an hour before dawn, and with it came the first crack in Clara Dawson's hope. She stood on the dusty train platform, clutching her infant daughter to her chest, scanning the horizon for the man who had promised her a new life. The sun bled slowly into the sky, but no one stepped forward. No hat tipped in greeting. No hand reached out. No voice called her name. Only silence, a cruel, stretching silence that made her heart sink stone-heavy. The baby fussed and Clara rocked her gently, ignoring the curious glances from townsfolk passing by. She had traveled 3 days and 2 nights as a mail-order bride to meet Wesley Price, a rancher who said he wanted a wife, a mother for his future children, a partner to build a life with. But the hours dragged on, and dread pooled cold inside her. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. A conductor approached her. "Ma'am, they found a body in the canyon this morning. A man. Papers in his pocket said he was Wesley Price." Clara's knees buckled. The world tilted. Her ears rang with the rushing sound of terror and disbelief. Murder? Accident? Why now? Why when she had nothing else left? She looked at her baby's small face, soft and unaware, and realized she was stranded alone, and without a single dollar to her name. Whispers gathered behind her like storm clouds. "That's the mail order girl," someone muttered. "Came all this way for a dead man. Shame she's got a baby. No man will want that trouble." Heat burned behind Clara's eyes. She swallowed hard, refusing to cry where everyone could see her fall apart. But the truth clawed up inside her. She had nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep, nothing to offer except her desperate will to survive. And then the baby began to cry loudly, heartbreakingly, like she understood the danger they were in. People stepped away. No one offered help, until a shadow fell across Clara. Boots stopped in front of her. A warm voice, low, steady, cut through the cold morning. "I'll hold you both." Clara froze. Slowly she lifted her gaze and saw a cowboy standing there, broad-shouldered, dust-coated, hat in hand. His eyes were the kind that carried storms, dark, fierce, and too knowing. His jaw was rough with stubble, his shirt rolled at the sleeves, his presence strangely protective. "I'm Eli Carter," he said quietly. "I knew Wesley, and I know he didn't die by accident." Clara's breath caught. "What do you mean?" Eli scanned the platform as if expecting trouble. "It means you're not safe here, and neither is that little one." The words slammed into her like cold water. Why would anyone care about me?" "Because Wesley left something behind, something someone else wants." His eyes flicked to her baby. "And they think you have it." A chill raced up Clara's spine. "I don't understand." "You will," Eli said. He extended his hand. "But right now you need to trust me." She stared at his hand, rough, calloused, steady, and fear gnawed at her ribs. Trusting strangers had destroyed her life before, but the baby whimpered softly against her chest as if sensing the urgency. Clara took Eli's hand, and everything changed. They rode out of town fast, the horses' hooves pounding like a warning drumbeat. Clara clung to Eli's waist, her baby tucked safely between them. The wind whipped her hair as the town shrank behind them, replaced by open plains and stretching sky. "Where are we going?" she called over the rush. "To my ranch," Eli answered. "It's the only safe place until I figure out who killed Wesley." Clara held tighter. "Why help me? You don't even know me." Eli hesitated, just long enough to make her stomach twist. "Because Wesley wrote me a letter last week. Said he'd found something valuable, something someone would kill for, and if anything happened to him, I was to protect you." A tremor moved through her. "But I don't have anything." Eli glanced back at her. "You have the baby." She stiffened. "My daughter? No, she can't have anything to do with this. She's the only thing he mentioned, Clara." Shock splintered through her. "That makes no sense." "It will," Eli said grimly. "But first I need you both alive." They reached his ranch by afternoon. Golden fields, mountains in the distance, and a farmhouse standing like a sentinel against the wilderness. Eli helped her down gently. His touch was cautious, almost reverent, like she was something breakable. Inside, he settled the baby in a warm crocheted blanket. Clara watched him, surprised by the tenderness in his rough hands. "You're good with her," she whispered. Eli's jaw flexed. "Had a little sister. Raised her myself after our folks died." He looked away. Didn't end well. Clara didn't ask. Pain lived behind his eyes, deep, jagged pain. Night fell heavy and too quiet. Crickets buzzed outside. Clara tried to sleep on the small cot Eli set up for her, but exhaustion twisted with fear. She felt eyes watching through the walls, danger circling like wolves. Eli paced near the window, rifle in hand, his silhouette cut by moonlight. "They'll come tonight," he murmured. Her blood went cold. "Who?" "Men who think Wesley told you something." A branch snapped outside. Eli stiffened. The baby whimpered. Shadows moved across the yard. Clara held her breath as Eli motioned her to stay low. Footsteps approached the porch, heavy, deliberate, wrong. A deep voice whispered, "Check the windows. She's in there with the kid." Clara's heart slammed wildly. Eli raised his rifle. The porch groaned. A fist rattled the door. "Open up, girl." Clara choked on a sob. Eli's hand dropped to her shoulder, steadying her. "Trust me," he whispered again. The door shuddered under a kick. Eli fired a warning shot into the air. The attackers scattered, but not far enough. A voice snarled, "We'll be back. And the baby comes with us." The night swallowed their retreat. Clara collapsed to her knees, trembling. Why? Why? Are they after my child? Eli knelt beside her, his hands firm on her shaking shoulders. "Because Wesley found out the truth," he said softly. "Your daughter. She's the heir to a fortune. And the man who wants her thinks killing you is the easiest way." Her breath broke. "A fortune? A murderer?" Eli cupped her face gently. "I won't let him touch you or her. You both stay under my protection now." Tears blurred her sight. She leaned forward without meaning to, her forehead resting against his. In the moonlit silence, his arms closed around her and the baby, holding them both the way no one ever had. And for the first time since she stepped off that train, Clara believed him. He would hold them both. He already was, the morning. After the attack came with a sky the color of bruised steel. Clara barely slept, waking at every creak of wind, every shifting shadow. Eli had stayed awake the entire night, rifle across his lap, watching the tree line as if expecting death to step out of it. Clara found him on the porch at sunrise, shirt rumpled, eyes sharp despite the exhaustion. "You didn't sleep," she whispered. "Didn't need to," he said. His gaze drifted to the baby in her arms. "How's little Hope?" Clara froze. "You called her Hope?" "You didn't tell me her name," he replied softly. "Thought Hope fit her." Clara swallowed hard. "It does." Eli looked like he wanted to say more but didn't. Instead, he motioned her inside. "Eat something. We've got trouble coming." Clara's hands trembled as she poured water into a tin cup. "Who were those men?" "Mercenaries," Eli said. "Hired by Silas Price." Clara blinked. "Price? As in Wesley's family?" "His uncle," Eli said darkly. "Runs half the territory, powerful, dangerous, and the kind of man who'd send killers after a woman and her baby if money was involved." Clara felt her stomach twist. "Why does he want Hope?" "Why her?" Eli hesitated, rubbing his thumb across the worn wood of the table. "Because Wesley wasn't just a rancher. He was the last legitimate heir to the Price fortune. A fortune Silas has been fighting to control. When Wesley disappeared to marry you, Silas panicked." Clara's breath caught. "You mean Hope is—" "The rightful heir," Eli finished. "Silas wants her gone. Once the last heir disappears, everything goes to him." A sick wave washed over her. "But Wesley never told me any of this." "He didn't have time," Eli said. "His letter said he suspected Silas already knew you were coming." Clara's knees weakened. "So Wesley was murdered because he wanted Hope safe?" "Yes." Clara sank into a chair, tears stinging her eyes. Hope cooed softly, reaching for her mother's chin with a tiny hand. Clara kissed the baby's forehead, whispering, "I'll protect you. I swear." Eli leaned close, voice rough. "You won't do it alone." But before Clara could speak, the sound of hoofbeats thundered through the valley, too many, too fast. Eli stiffened. "Inside now." Clara ran to the back room, clutching Hope. Eli grabbed his rifle and positioned himself at the window. 3 riders approached the ranch gate, guns holstered but hands hovering close. Their leader wore a black duster coat and a snake-like smile. He raised a hand in greeting. "Morning, Carter," he drawled. "We're looking for a woman and her child. Passed through town. You seen him?" Eli didn't move from the window. "No one here but me." The man chuckled. "Funny. Folks in town said they saw her get on your horse." He leaned forward in his saddle. "Silas Price wants the child, Carter. You hand her over and we walk away clean." Eli's voice turned to steel. You set one foot on my land, I'll put you in the ground. The outlaw smiled wider. Then I guess we'll have to dig the baby out ourselves. Clara's heart clamped painfully. Eli stepped onto the porch, rifle raised. Last warning, he said, voice thunder low. The outlaw shrugged. Then everything happened at once. Gunfire cracked across the yard. Wood splintered. Eli fired back, taking one rider down. Clara crouched on the floor, shielding Hope as bullets tore through the walls. Dust rained down like settling ash. Eli shouted, Clara, out the back! She ran barefoot, clutching Hope as the shouts grew louder. Eli was close behind her, firing as they fled toward the barn. Get inside, he ordered. Clara ducked behind hay bales, panting. Eli, what do we do? He reloaded fast. We run. They'll torch the place next. But before he could mount his horse, the barn door slammed open, and the outlaw leader stepped inside, gun drawn. Clara froze. Hope let out a soft cry. There she is, the outlaw whispered, eyes gleaming. Silas will pay handsomely for... Eli tackled him before the sentence finished. Both men crashed into the dirt, fists flying. The outlaw slammed a knee into Eli's ribs. Eli grunted but didn't stop, swinging with raw fury. Clara watched in horror, praying. Eli would survive because she knew, deep in her shaking bones, that she needed him more than she had ever needed anyone. The outlaw drew a knife. No, Clara screamed. Without thinking, she grabbed a pitchfork leaning against a post and swung it down. The metal clanged against the outlaw's wrist, sending the knife skittering across the floor. Eli seized the moment. He punched hard, once, twice, until the outlaw slumped unconscious. Breathing hard, Eli rose to his feet, chest heaving. He looked at Clara with something fierce and shaken in his eyes. You saved my life. Clara shook her head. You saved ours first. There was no time to say more. Eli grabbed the outlaw's horse. We ride now. They'll regroup. Clara mounted behind him, holding Hope between them. As they galloped away from the burning ranch, the only home, Eli had left. The flames lit the sky behind them like a funeral pyre. Hours later, after miles of fleeing through dusty canyons, Eli slowed the horse near an abandoned line shack. He helped Clara down, gently, brushing a stray lock of hair from her face. His hand lingered a moment too long, his eyes searching hers. You scared me, he whispered. When he pointed that gun at you, I saw red. Clara's breath trembled. I was more scared of losing you. They stood there, the desert wind wrapping around them, Hope asleep between them. Eli finally spoke, voice low. Clara, I'm going to get you to safety. But I won't lie, Silas won't stop. Not until he has her. Clara lifted her chin. Then he'll have to go through us both. Eli took her hand. And he won't. In the fading light,
he held her and...
the baby close as if anchoring. All three of them, too. Something stronger than fear. Stronger than blood, stronger than fate. A family, made by danger, bound by choice, held by a cowboy who refused to let go. And the storm was only just beginning.